everybody! Today we're throwing the bird to the healthy side of vegetables and instead cooking an incredibly rich and decadent Sichuan eggplant that everybody's gonna love. So let's get started! So let's go over our ingredients. First of all, I've got 2.5 pounds of Asian eggplants. And you want to select eggplants that are nice and dark purple and very firm. I have 4 teaspoons of regular white sugar, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped garlic, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped ginger, a handful of dried red chilies, and you can use as many or as few of these as you like. I've got about 1/4 pound of finely minced or ground fatty pork. This is optional, but it really adds to the dish. I have black vinegar, and if you can't find black vinegar, go ahead and swap out a 50-50 mix of white vinegar and soy sauce, and that'll get you pretty close. Now the chili bean sauce, or tobanjan, is really the signature flavor of this dish, so there's no substitute for it. So if you live in a small town, you might have to look around a bit for it, or just go ahead and order it from one of those websites. But it's got a nice sweet spiciness to it, and it really makes this dish. And I've got 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch, and also 1.5 teaspoons of Sichuan peppercorns, which you may also have to look around a bit for, but these have a really nice floral flavor to them, and they have a kind of a unique tongue-numbing effect that helps you deal with the spicier dishes. It's very good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and prep the eggplant. I'm going to nick off the stem end, and then I'm going to chop it into 3 sections, about 3 inches apiece. Don't have to be exact. And then I'm going to cut each of these sections into several sticks. So this thick part here, I'll cut into 3 slices, then divide them each into 2. This one's a little bigger, I'll actually go 3. And you want all of your sticks to have some skin on them because it's going to taste really good and it looks really good too. Alright, now that we've got all our sticks cut up, I kind of want to turn them whites up and sprinkle them all with a little bit of salt to help draw out some of the moisture. I'm going to go ahead and toss those in my bowl here and let those sit for 30 minutes. Now you can see that the salt has been drawing out a lot of the moisture in that eggplant. And now the first step in our recipe is going to be to deep fry this eggplant. Like I said, this is not what you would consider a healthy vegetable dish, but it is a delicious vegetable dish and a good way to get some people to eat their veggies. So I've got some vegetable oil here, and I want to check and make sure I'm hit 350 degrees at least. Okay, I'm a little over, but that's gonna cool down as soon as I toss in this eggplant. That'll cool that oil down and get it just about right. Now I'm going to deep fry these eggplants for just about 4 minutes. And you want to make sure the oil's nice and hot when they go in, because that's going to prevent the eggplant from soaking up a whole bunch of that oil and being real mushy and not very appetizing. It's also going to preserve the beautiful purple color and make it really pop. Now this batch, the oil was a little hotter when it went in, so it's only been 3 minutes and they are ready to go. I can tell because they've got this little golden color to them. And we're going to go ahead and transfer these to a wire rack and let them drain. And then we're going to get the oil reheated before throwing in our next batch. So I finished frying off my eggplants, and now it's time to build the final dish. I've got reserved about 2 tablespoons of that frying oil, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in my Sichuan peppercorns. I've got it at about medium-low, just under medium heat, because I want these to fry a little bit to release their oils, but I definitely don't want them to burn. I'll go ahead and put those in there, swirl them about. I'm just going to give those about a minute. go ahead and throw in my chilies too. I'm not going to use all of these because I'm not going to be selfish today. I'm not the only one eating this. If it was just for me, I'd put in a lot of chilies. And you can get that smell coming out right away. And now, before it burns, I want to cool it down by throwing in my ginger and my garlic. And that is going to keep those, it's going to stop the cooking of the peppercorns and the chilies. Oh boy, that smells good. Alright, and now that's just had a minute or so. Don't want to burn the garlic either. Now I'm going to grab about 3 tablespoons of the chili bean sauce, the tobanjan. Oh my goodness, that smells incredible. Just want to stir fry that chili paste for a little bit. I'm going to bump the heat up to medium. Alright, my chili paste, my garlic, my ginger. It's been sauteing for just a few minutes. Oh man, the aroma is incredible. So now I'm going to bump up the heat to about medium-high. I'm going to throw in my ground pork. Break it up. Alright, I've got my pork fried off. Well, it took about 5 minutes. And now I want to make this into a nice rich sauce for the eggplant. And I'm going to start by adding a cup of chicken stock. I just so happen to have a fresh pot of chicken stock right over here on the stovetop. I'm sure you do too. And I'm just going to use that to deglaze the pan. Pick up any of those nice bits off the bottom. And I'm going to add into that 4 teaspoons of that black vinegar, which again you can replace with a 50-50 white vinegar soy sauce mix. At this point, I'll go ahead and toss in that sugar. And we want to get this up to a nice boil, and then we'll bring in our eggplant. Alright, our sauce is nice and hot. I've got this going at high heat right now. I'll go ahead and bring in all that beautiful fried eggplant. And I want to toss that all around in my sauce. And just toss it around until it comes back up to a boil and everything gets nice and hot. Everything's gotten nice and hot and bubbly. So the last thing I want to do is create my nice glaze on there. And I'm going to use the cornstarch with just a couple of tablespoons of cold water. Just want to whisk together and throw that in there to thicken everything up and give it a nice sheen. Just whisk that cornstarch with a couple of tablespoons of cold water. Always cold. And now pick a nice spot and whisk it in there. There we go. And now just stir that all around. And as soon as that comes back up to a boil, it's done. try this out and see how we did. The eggplant is incredibly tender, but the skin has a nice pop to it still, almost like a sausage. And it's sweet, and it's spicy, and a little bit sour. It's just so much going on in there. It is delicious. I really hope you try this, and I really hope you'll love it. And if you do, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.